Disappointment, disappointment, disappointment. I'm a disappointment, you're a disappointment, we're all disappointments. The dissatisfaction of not getting the things which we desire, the sadness, the sorrow, the lack of excitement from not getting the things which we expected, the unexpected, the lack of, the loss, the letdown. How do we turn the things that disappointed us at one point into the things that excite us at another point, the things that teach us at some other point? How do we take those things which let us down, those disappointments, and make those into the things which make us stronger, which build us up to be better people? Through creative processes, through art, through any form of creation, we can take negative things and turn them into positive things. We can take those disappointments and turn them into advantages. So as an artist, as a creative individual, we can take those disadvantages, those losses, those failures, and turn them into the most important and successful things in our lives simply by addressing them, looking into them, and turning those things into the exact same things which were holding us back, by turning those things into our own creations. We as creative beings have this ability, we have this gift, and we are to use this gift in order to make this world a better place. Our greatest lessons come from those things which let us down. Our greatest lessons come from those disappointing things. And it's our duty as human beings to turn those disappointments into our greatest achievements. In my class last week in the prison, I had a student, an inmate, who for the past several weeks has shown to be one of the greatest artists in my class. But the first projects that he made in my class were being rejected by SIS, which is the investigation services, which makes sure that nothing come out of that prison that can cause harm to anybody else. So anything that has any gang affiliation or any symbolism that might refer back to some kind of gang or some kind of problematic thing or some disruptive group can never leave that prison because it can hide within it coded messages which could lead to the harm of other people, so nothing ever leaves. Now this student, he's a brilliant artist, one of the best I've ever come across within the system. And both of his projects were confiscated and then trashed by the investigation services. And it broke his heart. We told him last week, and I could just see the heartbreak, the dissatisfaction, the disappointment in his face. And through the whole class, which was 3 hours long, he sat there disappointed, sad that his self-expression was being suppressed, that his self-expression was being edited. Disappointed in the suppression of his voice, disappointed in the fact that he can't say what he needs to say in the way he wanted to say it. But for me, the lesson that I learned out of this was that he needed to adjust his voice, that he needed to adjust the way in which he was expressing himself so that it could get past these barriers that he was facing so that his voice could be heard. So oftentimes in our lives when we face these disappointments, we have to figure out ways to move past these disappointments and use them to our advantage, learn from these disappointments, and grow from these disappointments. Now for the following week, I was really disappointed myself because I felt really bad that his voice was being suppressed, and in that same way my voice was being suppressed, and I figured over the next week that he had the possibility that he might drop out of the course, and I was really disappointed in that. But to my surprise, the following week, this student came back, and having learned the lesson of how to turn disappointments into successes, came with new pieces, stronger pieces, pieces that would be cleared, pieces that enabled him to have those works of art leave the prison and go out into the public and actually be for sale and make him some money. So one of the greatest lessons that we can learn through failures and through disappointments is to not let those disappointments stop us, but rather to have those disappointments give us strength and make us stronger so that we can learn and discover new ways to express ourselves, new ways to grow. And with that, we can learn to turn our disappointments into achievements. We can learn to take that which was once negative and turn it into something which is now positive. We can learn to take a shadow and turn it into a highlight. Peace.